Okay, we are recording, and this will be uploaded later. All right, let's do this eye first. So I just want to focus on this one. All right, so we want to get number 8 first. Find all the darkest darks. So I definitely have a strong patch down here. And that comes all the way through, all the way around. We have this dark patch, which is up here. And this is all created through the makeup and the eyes. The person you choose for your final might not have makeup. I don't know. So this is just going to represent the shading of the eyebrow. We don't actually see the hair, the texture of the hair of the eyebrow. It's just a shading. Okay. The next thing you might want to add is the gray areas around. So the skin is definitely not white. So I just want to gray this out, and we're going to use number 2. So right here, number 2, I am just going to gray this out. So I just want that patch of skin here, because it's not exactly pure white. So we're just going to gray that out. And for sure, you can see that my shading is pretty sloppy. That looks pretty sloppy. We're in the early phases, so of course, it's not finalized yet. We're just trying to get the tones in. We're mapping things out. As I go and add more and more to it, it'll get more and more realistic and more detailed. But for now, we are just trying to add the tones. So inside here, you have this semicircle here. This will map out that part right there. Hold on, Sawyer is here. Let me mark Sawyer in. Sawyer here. Okay. All right. And inside here is a number 8. Okay. So this is number 8 dark. And I'm just going to zoom in closer so that students who are watching this recording later can see that. And I'm pressing pretty hard for this dark part. Like so. Around the eye, you have some of that number 8 in this zone here as well. So you've got like a dark patch there. It comes around this way, and then you've got like a dark patch. And I'm just using circular motions, okay? Circular motions. Come around this way. I apologize if I'm drawing a little fast. This is a video tutorial, so I'm trying to make the recording shorter. Just try and keep up as best as you can. Right here in this zone right here, the eyeball is acting like a mirror. You can see the reflection of the eyelashes. So we're just going to draw some curved lines that come down. I don't care if you draw like 8 or 9 or 5. We just want some eyelashes right there to kind of hint that it's reflecting the eyelashes. Okay. And then on the inside here, we have like about a number 3 or a number 4. So I'm just going to come back through and give it a number 3. And you can see number 3 right here. So I'm just going to give it a number 3 in that zone. I'm leaving this area white because there's a highlight in there. So I'm just giving it a number 3. And then we're going to go back inside and draw the lines, just like when we were kids and you guys drew a sun. So On the inside, we're just going to do this. We have this. We're just going to go through and we're going to draw the little spider legs all the way around. Okay. I don't care how many spider legs you draw. We're just trying to simulate that texture. So you guys remember simulated texture? We're trying to copy it, replicate it, right? So I'm just going to draw a line coming there. Some coming out this way. And some coming out that way. Some coming out this way. Okay. Now all that we have left to do is to add the shading here. This part is not white. Over here can be white, but this part here has some shading in it. So it's right in between a 3 and a 2, but there's definitely some shadows in there. So you got to capture that. Like so. There's this fold of skin right there. And I'm adding that in. Okay. There's some shading coming underneath here. It's a little darker, about a 5. This is about a 5. And then this is about a 4 right here. Level 4 right there. All right, looks good to me. Okay. Now we're going to do the eyelashes. So eyelashes curve. They grow out from the skin. Eyelashes do not grow out from the eyeball. So don't draw your eyelashes growing out from your eyeball. That looks weird. It grows out from the skin. So right here, you're going to draw lines that overlap. This one curves that way. This one curves down. They kind of X. So they're like little X's. They curve like this. All right. And then the ones up here, they grow out from here and they curve back up. They're like little check marks. Okay. And then as you get towards the middle, they just flare up and then they change direction and then they start growing this way. So that's how you do eyelashes. I did the demo in the video, so if you need to see that again, just click rewind and go rewatch that. But I'm going to go ahead and draw the eyelashes here. Again, we're just simulating the texture, so you're trying to capture it. I don't care if you got all the eyelashes. You just want to draw some, okay? I'm not going to be counting 23 eyelashes here. I'm just looking for the texture. Over here as well. Like that. These are longer. So these eyelashes are really, really long. They're not short. Okay, towards the end of the eye here, the eyelashes will start to flare out to the left. Like that. And then the ones above come out this way as well. Make sure that they overlap. And usually the eyelashes on top are way, way thicker than the eyelashes on the bottom of the eye. So I'm just overlapping them and I'm trying to change directions. Okay, but we're just drawing curves. Don't panic. These are not lines that you have never seen in your life before. You've drawn curves before. We are just drawing curves. And they grow out like this. Okay. And then we've got one big curve here. Now, my lines are starting to change direction. And I am going the other way now. And some of those eyelashes come into the eye down here below as well. Okay, that looks good to me. All right, the last and final stage of this is Sawyer's favorite part. Sawyer mentioned yesterday during class that she wanted to use her finger to blend and smear. So at this point in time, you can get your finger in here and you can blend it and smear it. If you don't want to get your fingers dirty, you can use tissue paper, paper towels, napkins, anything you have at home, and just use, like, make this into like a point. And so I'm just twisting it so I have some kind of a point. And I'm just going to go through, and this is where the magic happens. I am just blending things out. I'm not pressing hard, okay? Light pressure. We just want to blend everything in so that our texture is smooth and we captured skin tone. You just got to be careful with blending because sometimes it can get a little too fuzzy. So only blend it where you need it. I'm going to use my finger for this part. Sometimes your fingers work better. Bring this over some. Okay, we also need to blend that inside of the eye right here. So I'm just going to go around this part. Blend that out. I'm going to blend this out. And I'm just going to blend this out. Okay, there we have it. A realistic eye. This is usually the part where I stop and I ask students, did everybody get what I got? And then everybody's laughing and, oh my God, my eye looks like this, my eye looks like that. Mr. Herr, I need help. But we're not in class physically. Well, the whole class is not here physically, so. Yeah. You can go back and watch the recording and then get caught up. All right, so this is eye number 1, okay? I'm gonna go and do eye number 2. Let me just touch this one up a little bit more before I move on. All right, there it is. Okay, I'm gonna go do eye number 2. For sure, the eyelashes can be way, way darker. Like, you can come back through and really press these in and make them pop. The darker it is, the more your eyes are inclined to see it and it catches attention. So after all that blending, your eyelashes might have gotten a little lighter. Just go back in and darken them in, follow your lines, and they'll pop back out again. Okay, so if this got a little lighter, just go back through and press hard again, and it'll pop like so. All right. How are we doing on time? I got plenty of time to finish this other eye. Okay. So we're going to do the same thing for eye number 2. Someone in the chat is probably going to say, Mr. Hur, can you leave it on this one? I'm still trying to finish this one. So I'm going to zoom out just a little so that you can see eye number 1 for those of you who still need to finish. All right. So number 2, again, first thing we do is get that layer of skin. So we just want to come through and get that layer of skin right in there. All right. There's even some shadows in the eye up here as well. So even in here, we have some those light tones. So get your light tones for number 1. Get your finger and blend that out. So we're just going to blend it out ahead of time. Okay, this will help us from having to work with just the white of the paper. Now, get your darks, your level 8s. So I see in here, this is level 8. I can press hard there. This is level 8. I can press hard here. This is level 8. There and there. All right. The eyebrow is right here in this zone. Make that about a number 6. So number 6 is right here. We're going to press about number 6. And if you did this correctly yesterday, your muscles will remember exactly how hard to press because you did it yesterday. So we're going to go number 6 hard right there. That looks good. There is a shadow on the outside of the face right here. That is also a number 6. So I'm just going to come back through and shade that in. Comes out like this. And that helps us draw out the side of the face. And we have some shadows over here. With my tissue paper, I'm just going to blend that out. All right, the next thing that you got to do now is inside here, you got to draw some lines here, shade on the inside here. This is a little darker, like so. This line here is going to be represented by the eyelashes. So I'm going to draw them in again. And again, eyelashes are just curves. Sometimes they overlap and they crisscross. That makes them look more convincingly real. And I'm not going to count how many eyelashes you drew. You just have to draw enough to make the eye look realistic. And then these eyelashes pop out all the way around that way. The ones above are way thicker. So this one comes way up. One comes there. They're dark and they're thick, so I'm just going back over them. And then this has shadows in it, so I'm just going to shade that in. Shade this part in. And there's a highlight right here. So with my eraser, I need to come back through and highlight that. So there's a little light part right here. So I'm going to leave that alone and not shade that so that we have that highlight. There's a highlight that wraps the eye around this way as well. So right here, I'll leave that alone. Right there. And right there. Okay. Now I can come through and blend everything out. So I'm just going to pull some of the graphite from up here and bring that down some. There's a little bit of shading here. Just going to bring that out. Definitely some shading that's darker here. So I'm just going to bring the graphite that I already have in this area and bring that down. Follow the eye this way. Like so. And in the picture, this side over here is white. So this is all highlight. So I need to remove that area right there. And over here is light too. Okay. So I'm going to leave that as number 1. This is a 1. That should be light. There should be no pencil markings in there. So I just use my eraser to highlight that and make it a little lighter. And then on the inside of my eye, I'll come back through and shade this part in. And I'll leave those parts as highlights. So this part is white, that part is white. This part above the eye right here is white as well. So I'm just with the line, I'm just going to use an eraser and just come back through and highlight that like so. Okay, so this part right here should be white. I'm going to get the blending of the shadows here. Draw that out. And then this one up here. Just want to do this. So the last thing we're going to do is we're going to come through and get some texture of hair. See these little strands of hair in there? That part right there, we're just going to get some of the eyebrows. The eyebrow on the one above, we did not see it because it was fuzzy and the camera was more focused on this eye right here. But in this one, we see some of those hairs. So hopefully you didn't shade it too dark so that you can come in and add some of those patches of hair. And we're using curved lines again. And those curved lines are just going this way. If you have a mechanical pencil, this will work even better. My pencil is kind of rounded at this point because I've been shading with it, so I'll do the best I can. But if you have a mechanical pencil, by all means.
My person is very excited, and we have no clue why. He or she just
There's some shading coming across this way, so I'm just going to pull that over. And clean up any smudges or smears in the areas that's supposed to be white. There we go. Oh, we forgot this part. That has shading in this area here. So that's about a number 4 or number 5. So I'm just gonna color that in. It's darker than the eye. So that part is definitely darker than the eye. Make this darker as well. Oh, I pressed so hard my pencil broke. You guys saw that on camera. All right, get my backup. I have a backup in case. I got backups. And there we go. This is too dark. I'm just going to lighten that back up. So that's a little too dark for me. Okay. All right. So that's eye number 1 and eye number 2. Let me zoom in on that a little. Okay, so those of you who are watching this recording, this is a great time to pause the video so that you can check your work. I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording right here. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like, comment, and share. Appreciate that. Helps the algorithm get my videos out there and helps the channel grow.